As a gay man, I have been reliably informed he cannot opinion on this, and you should have told him to shut up. Wait, what? Ben came out? Coming out as gay to own people who think women deserve respect and free will. Yeah, I mean, I respect that. Dude, I respect the fucking grind, dude. I'm sorry. Did somebody say fucking Sigma grind set? How much do you hate? How much do you hate women, chatter? You just simply fucking wait for me to... You simply sit there, okay? And you wait for me to cover the Amber Heard trial so you can come in and say that Amber Heard is like a villain, a witch, deserves to be dead or some shit. Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro's out here, literally coming out and living life as a homosexual man to own women. Okay? Don't ever tell me about grind set. Step your fucking game up, incels. Step your fucking game up, dude. Becoming gay to own women, dude? What the fuck? That's right. It's a new era, baby. I hate women so much, I won't even fuck them. I'm fucking dudes now. Straight up. Ben Shapiro was like, I'm so misogynistic, I don't even want to fuck women. Anyway, also, why should he be worried about the rest of his life of all the human beings on God's green earth? Gay men should be the least worried about decisions regarding abortion. Blow his bussy out, Shabby Bussy. Shabby Bussy. Shabby Bussy. As a gay man, I have been reliably informed he cannot opinion on this. And you should have told him to shut up. Ben Shapiro hates women so much. Faked being gay to own them. Hashtag respect. Hashtag Sigma grind set. Hashtag hustle culture. Don't say faked, say he became gay. Okay, well, I mean, now we know why his, wife's pussy is dry. Have you seen the tweets where Shapiro complains about couples therapy only revolving around sexual frustration of women? And another tweet about how much his wife laughs when another coworker texts her and he thinks this other dude should be a comedian? Those are not real tweets. Do you think Dave Rubin will leave his husband for Ben now that he's out? No. Wait, is he actually gay? No, dude. Everyone is fucking joking because of the way that he wrote this. He wrote it. He said, as a gay man. Okay? Like, he fucking typed his tweet out like he's gay. I ship my problematic faves. I think that is the worst possible sentence structure he could have used. How was this man college educated? This motherfucker went to Harvard, dude. Went to fucking Harvard. Should have replied with this. What? Why do you have a readily available 1P Azealia Banks reaction photo from like an Instagram live? Anyway, what the fuck was I doing? Oh, I was watching Ben Shabibo. Let's get back to that. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Usurp the issue. And then top down, a bunch of non-elected judges decided that they were going to decide the issue for all of America. And they put in place this ridiculous viability standard that had nothing to do with reality. And then fast forward to Planned Parenthood versus Casey. And they put in place this undue burden standard, which again had nothing to do with the text of the Constitution or anything to do with the nation's history or biology or anything. So last night, Politico leaks that this decision by Samuel Alito has a majority support and is going to strike down Roe versus Wade. The leak is an unbelievable breach of every ethic the Supreme Court has ever.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that happened. In this news story, the absolute worst thing that happened in this news story is the leak. Okay? Nothing else. Please, dear God, do not focus on anything else. Just think about the leak. Do not think about the implications of what will happen. Do not think about the many times that the Supreme Court justices lied on record saying that they were actually going to maintain Roe v. Wade as a super president. Do not think about the top of the hour ad break at the top of the hour every hour where a 6-second ad break runs and how you can avoid those ads by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Do not think about that. Go, dear God, do not. But if you do think about that, there is a way you can avoid those ads. Like I said, by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. That is by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get one free Prime subscription a month. 18. Or by getting gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here's the 1-minute ad break now.
Ever held on to. It's insane. I mean, it's a crazy, crazy thing. Here's what Politico wrote. The Supreme Court has voted to strike down the landmark Roe versus Wade decision, according to an initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito, circulated inside the court and obtained by Politico. The draft opinion is a full-throated, unflinching repudiation of the 1973 decision, which guaranteed federal constitutional protection.
Oh, shit. Shit is popping off, boys. Okay, there it is. Happening now in downtown Austin. Hundreds of protesters are taking to the streets outside of Texas Capitol following the leaked opinion draft from the Supreme Court regarding Roe v. Wade and women's rights.
Right, you take up that street.
Oh, shit. It's already happening. It's already happening.
Actions of abortion rights and a subsequent 1992 decision, Planned Parenthood versus Casey, that largely maintained the right. Now, the fact that this was leaked is insane. No draft decision in the history of the court has been disclosed publicly while a case was still pending, according to Politico. Never. Never, ever. And it dramatically undermines the legitimacy of the court because...
Oh, no. What will we do? The dramatic undermining of the legitimacy of the Supreme Court. No.
Love you, Hassel.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, no. Fuck you, you fucking bitch. Who gives a fuck? Suck my dick, okay? Suck my fucking cock. Anyone who tries to tell you, like, oh, my God, the institutions are infallible institutions, that is just straight lib shit, okay? These institutions are supposed to work for all of us, okay? They are supposed to work for all of us. That's it. And the moment that they stop working, and the moment that they start operating in this incredibly partisan, in this hyper-partisan way, that specifically are working as an apparatus for the Republican Party to look like they are successfully abiding by the wishes of some of the most psychopathic but active voter bases that they have, it's over. Throw it in the fucking trash. Fuck the Constitution. It's just a piece of paper. You can wipe your fucking ass on it. Maybe you'll get paper cuts, but it does not matter. Okay? These ideas are fake. They're made up. The only reason why we care about them in the way that we do is because other people have told us we need to care about them. Okay? It's bullshit. And if you're going to undermine the integrity of the Supreme Court, and this is something that Chief Justice John Roberts would probably agree with, and that's part of the reason why he did not, for the longest time, take this strong of an approach to undermining Roe v. Wade, okay, then don't act out. Don't fucking make decisions like this. But, of course, conservatives could not stop. They couldn't even fucking keep up the facade that these institutions are just fucking bullshit. They had to take it one step further. They had to also act out the desires of some of the most psychotic, unhinged, insane Republican voters in this country that do not represent more than 30% of the entire country, entire nation's attitudes. And if you do that, then people, of course, are going to think to themselves, like, well, fuck this shit. You know? John Roberts understood that. Ben Shapiro certainly understands it too. And the only time, of course, Ben Shapiro thinks about it is whenever the Supreme Court says, like, I don't know, that gay people can get married or that, black people can go to school with white people. Like, that's the only time when he's like, these institutions are crazy. What the fuck is going on? They're not abiding by the wishes. Don't try to tell schools what to do. Like, that's the only time that he cares about it.
when you have draft decisions that are now being circulated, the idea is, and there's only one reason this happened, and I guarantee you 100% this came from some clerk on the left of the aisle. This came from, I would imagine, one of Justice Sonia Sotomayor's clerks who decided to be a hero of the Republic and leak out the draft majority decision in the desperate hope that one of two things would happen. One, the public would bring such extraordinary pressure to bear on the justices voting in favor of Alito's opinion that one of them switched over.
Hi, Tina.
Were able to leverage threats of violence, intimidation against these justices to get one of them to flip. Or two, you got Democrats in the Senate and the House and in state legislatures everywhere to immediately snap into place and start passing extraordinarily intrusive pro-abortion laws. And you're starting to see this happen, right? Democrats are already saying, well, we should just kill the filibuster and we should pass a federal law enshrining a right to abortion.
For the record, and I want to point this one more time because probably this is going to appear in a YouTube video. Say hi, everyone in the chat on the YouTube video. Also, please subscribe if you like this kind of YouTube videos and ring the bell for more. I'm forgetting what I was going to say. God damn it. Okay, so the idea that the filibuster needs to be maintained is a silly one. I do understand that, Republicans will go buck wild when they're in a position of power. But the only reason why Ben Shapiro can basically have this take about protecting the filibuster is because Republicans have completely given up on even legislating through the Senate. They have already relegated all matter of legislation to the state legislatures, which they fucking dominate through gerrymandered districts. They've completely overtaken state legislatures all around the country. So much so that they can get away with passing legislation at the state level, for example, that dictates that even if there is a Democratic majority of votes, like they could technically overturn it at the state level, like really crazy stuff. We saw this already earlier this year with the efforts that they took towards protecting voter security. Another thing that like only 30% of the country believed, which was that the votes were stolen from Donald Trump, who was our Lord and Savior, right? So they are very good at, one, undermining Congress and the legislative branch when it comes to still pushing for a legislative agenda that completely overrides Congress. Okay? The other way that they do it is through the court system, obviously. As you've seen, the Federalist Society is a group of activist judges that specifically are plucking and picking law school students and basically setting them up for a career so that they can become the next Brett Kavanaugh. Okay? So Ben can say, they're trying to take away the filibuster or whatever without worrying about it. But if you think for even a brief moment that Republicans needed to destroy the filibuster to get some kind of initiative passed, some legislative agenda item that they needed to pass, and they needed to destroy the filibuster for it, they would do it. They would do it in a heartbeat because they want to win. Because they want to, at the very least, like do something for their audience, do something for their fucking voter base. Whereas Democrats, on the other hand, despise their actual voters.
YouTube.
And that comes across every time they speak. Every time a Democrat's like, shut the fuck up and vote, dumbass. What do you want? Look at how fucking horrible the Republicans are. You need to vote for us. At a time when like they already hold the majority in the fucking House, the majority in the Senate, and the White House, when they turn around and say, you got to vote harder, idiot. You got to vote harder, stupid. Give me some more money, fuckface. Look at how bad the Republicans are. You're basically admitting that like you resent us. You don't care about us. You don't care about what we want. At this point, we're just voting for you for the sake of voting because you're not a Republican. We already have voted super hard. And for some reason, Republicans are still winning. How the fuck is that happening? It's very frustrating to see.
That isn't going to happen, but that is what the call is from the left side.
I mean, he's right. It's not going to happen.
Of the leak.
He already knows
the leak
that.
is deliberately made in order to put these Supreme Court justices in danger and to jog Democrats to go ahead and pass some sort of federal law, making abortion the law of the land from the federal legislative level. That's what this was designed to do. The person who did this should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, to the extent that they've broken the law. You would imagine that this is a leak of certain classified information. I don't mean national security classified. I mean that when you are in a position with the federal government, you have to sign contracts that mean that you are not allowed to make public the private information.
Why is Tim Pool tweeting that you have communist takes? What the fuck is Tim Pool tweeting about me?
That exists at the level of the government. This is true in virtually every government agency. At the very least, this is civil liability for the person who leaked this majority opinion. And
what law is this leaker violating? Do they have a fucking answer to that question? What law? What is the law? I mean, there is no law, for the record. Like, there is no law. They're just like making it up. At this point, they don't even have anything. They're just like, they don't even need to have something. They're just like, it's the law of violating my feelings. It's hurting my feelings. That's the law. It's not nice when they do this.
And it could theoretically be criminal. It should be referred to the FBI and the DOJ for full-scale investigation. Justice Roberts needs to lead the way on that. And if there's any evidence whatsoever that the clerk in this particular case did this at the behest of the justice, whichever justice allowed for this, if that's what happened here, that justice needs to be impeached. And that would be true no matter which side of the aisle we were talking about here. Now, the left, of course, will make the leaker the hero of the republic because, as we know, the left is perfectly fine with illegal leaks so long as those illegal leaks cut in their favor.
I mean, that's the same as Republicans, though. Isn't that literally what you're saying about Hunter Biden's laptop or whatever? Like, yeah, no, that's the truth. Yeah, liberals only care about leaks when it favors them, and Republicans only care about leaks when it favors them. You're not making like a cool point here. It also doesn't really make sense that Ben is saying this. Like, I don't know why he's like going after hypocrisy, because like he himself literally advocates for this. There are very few people who are openly, pro leak across the board. I'm one of them. I like it. I wanted to see Hunter Biden's cock. It was fat. Okay. I wanted to see Hunter Biden like doing crack and stuff. I thought it was cool. The proletarian cocaine, the better socialist than me. And like, I'm a fan of leaks across the board. I think it's more important for us to actually prosecute what is being found in the leaks rather than prosecute who's doing the leaking, right? But other than that, most people don't care. Like, most people are just like, yeah, I only care about leaks when it's benefiting my side. And Ben is one of those fucking biased idiots, right? I just say banned. Now, Supreme Court opinions or drafts of Supreme Court opinions are not like confidential. You know what I mean? They're not classified national security documents. I don't know what they're gonna, I don't know like what argument they're trying to make here. Even if it was, by the way, I'm still an advocate for leaking it. Like, who gives a fuck? Shut the fuck up. Right? And it's basically just like, oh, my fifis. Like, that person will definitely be fired. Right? Obviously. It's not national security. It's a matter of national integrity and transparency, democracy. Wait, are you pro-leak then? Because it's transparency is quite literally leaking that document. Again, people are, people are straight up just fucking trying to find like weird idealistic reasons as to why it's bad. Also, national integrity. Who gives a fuck about national integrity? What I was saying is you can't take the position that you're for transparency and then say that this is violating transparency. It's quite literally more transparent to fucking leak Supreme Court documents like this.
They're not a fan of it. Totally non-illegal leak.
I'm pro-leak, but there's privilege and it's prosecutable under common law under powers of the court. Wait, what? No shot. I doubt it.
Like, say, Hunter Biden's laptop, but they are a very big fan of illegal leaks that harm Republicans, and completely baseless leaks that harm Republicans. Totally fine with it. IRS leaks of tax information, totally fine with it. They're fine with disseminating the completely unverified Steele dossier for years on end in order to prop up a false narrative that Donald Trump was a stooge of the Russians. When it comes to a leak like this, you will imagine that this will be treated as heroism by the left. But the bottom line is that this sort of leak dramatically undermines the court. No question about it. And it is designed, once again, to bring pressure on Supreme Court justices.
I mean, I hope it does bring pressure on Supreme Court justices. I do also see the argument that, like, statistically speaking, there are significantly more clerks that are conservative on the Supreme Court than there are, you know, liberal ones. So there's that. But also, you know, so I do see that side of it, but I still don't care, right? Even if it was a conservative, I still don't care. But what I certainly don't care about is the integrity of the Supreme Court. As I said already, they are the ones who are destroying the integrity. Don't ask me, ask Chief Justice John Roberts, okay? He's the one who is very aware that this was going to happen if they were to regularly fucking say over and over again that they would never undermine Roe v. Wade. It is settled precedent of the Supreme Court, Kavanaugh said. One of the important things to keep in mind about Roe v. Wade, that it has been reaffirmed many times. That's what Brett Kavanaugh said at his appointment. Neil Gorsuch, Roe v. Wade is the law of the land, Gorsuch answered. I accept the law of the land, Senator. Yes. Amy Covid Barrett. Judges can't just wake up one day and say, I have an agenda. I like guns. I hate guns. I like abortion. I hate abortion. And walk into the royal queen and walk in like a royal queen and impose their own will on the world. It's not the law of Amy, she said. It's the law of American people. So obviously they lied. I mean, I've been saying this. I mean, if you believe us fucking Supreme Court justice on what they're going to say, well, you know, I have some NFTs to sell you. Right? And that doesn't even mean anything. It's like such a lib way to be like, they lied to us. Yeah, no shit. What are you, a fucking... This is the most Disney adult energy. Like, you know what I mean? They lied to us. Yeah, of course they did. They're fucking freaks, dude. They're psychopathic, pedophilic vampires. Of course they lied to you. Like, oh man, someone in Washington lied to us? That's crazy. Anyway, so
less than 3 is the Pete tape.
I mean, we don't even fucking we don't even vote for them specifically. So it's even funnier. But lying against leaks is wait, what? Against leaks is literally the same thing as getting mad at a worker for reporting abusive conditions and firing them. It's a strategy to shift the blame of what was leaked onto the person who caused it, which our country also does, by the way. Yeah, of course. Jail them for perjury. I love that. No, that's awesome. Yeah, we should do that. That's jail them for perjury. That's a fucking Occupy Democrats ass take right there. Retweet the jail them.
Which just demonstrates, for the left, the rule of law doesn't mean crap. They don't care about the rule of law. They never have cared about the rule.
But you don't either. Like, what does this fucking take? They don't care about the rule of law. Like, what is law? Law is meaningless, okay? It's a fucking set of rules that we all decided was like the best way to fucking run society. What do you mean? Oh, they don't care about the law. This has nothing to do with the law. You already demonstrated, despite your Harvard law degree, that you don't know anything about the fucking law because you're just lying and claiming that this is a violation of the law. Okay? What law? But even if there was a law, I wipe my ass with that law, okay? I'm fucking pro leaks. Always.
Rule of law. When they say that they care about the rule of law and quote-unquote democracy, what they mean is we want our way, period. And if that means that we breach the rule of law by having people leak out confidential Supreme Court internal draft decisions, and again, it's a draft decision, which means that it was likely going to change before it was finally issued. That's the purpose of a draft, is that it can be circulated, and then you have dissents written, and then the majority usually responds to the dissents. Okay, so this is not the final form of the opinion, even if this had been the basis of the opinion that eventually was issued by the court. The purpose is the intimidation. I mean, it is illegal. It dramatically undermines the legitimacy of the Supreme Court.
Dude, he just keeps repeating the same thing. Homie's trying to get that 10-minute mark so hard right now. He's so aggressively trying. He's just like, it's illegal. 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 It hurts my feelings, so it must be a violation of the law. Shut up, you fucking nerd. Oh my God, dude. He really should have been bullied way more, dude. Pussy-ass liberals in fucking California didn't throw him into enough lockers, and now we have to listen to this dumbass's takes nonstop. They should have fucking straight up bullied him way, way, way more mercilessly at whatever fucking school he went to in California so that he thought twice before ever fucking opening his mouth about these sorts of things. God damn it, dude. Holy fuck.
And the Supreme Court system completely. And of course, then you have the left saying we should kill the filibuster entirely and we should just cram through a law. Slow clap for all of the norms of democracy must be upheld crew. Also of note, as we'll get to in a little.
They're going to bully him for being pro-choice, doubt it. I'm just saying, like, I mean, he did go to fucking, you know, he did go to some bunch of different schools in California. Lib should have fucking bullied his ass.
Wow. Democrats are shrieking to the heavens, rending their garments, wailing, pouring, wearing sackcloth, pouring ashes upon their heads over the possibility that this issue is going to be returned to the states. They're saying this is the death of democracy.
Yeah, oh man, how crazy that, you know, in a country where 18 states already have trigger laws that immediately criminalize abortion, in the, at the time, unlikely event that Roe v. Wade is overturned, liberals are being so crazy about this. Oh man, it's like, dude, what the fuck are you saying? Of course they're going to freak out about this. This is the one instance where it makes sense that libs are fucking in a state of panic. He will never understand this. He just won't. Unfortunately, he will never understand this. There will never be a fucking, you know, law that makes it illegal for annoying little shitheads to fucking constantly run their mouths, okay? Despite my best interests and despite my best efforts, I keep calling my congresspersons, okay? I keep calling them. I keep sending them messages. I keep sending them emails. I follow them to their cars at home, and yet not a single one will pass this fucking legislation that makes it illegal for annoying, smarmy little shitbirds like Ben Shapiro to fucking constantly run their mouths, okay? I'm trying my best! Sorry.
Democracy. Just a quick definitional point. When voters get to vote on things, that's democracy. So the Supreme Court saying that voters now get to vote on.
Yeah, dude, totally. Voters get to vote on things, and that's democracy. That's really cool, except, you know, not a single, and I said this already on Twitter, not a single fucking state has more than 30% support for fucking banning abortions! But it doesn't matter. And he knows that. That's what the worst part about this argument is that, like, it's just more democracy. No, you fucking asshole. There is no situation in which voters are like, I'm voting specifically to make sure that, you know, abortions are fucking protected. Half of those fucking states do not have a ballot measure provision. Like, you can't put it on a ballot directly so you can have something similar to a fucking referendum to whether or not you can protect abortions or not. If that was the case, they probably would. It would be a gangbusters initiative, okay? Because the overwhelming majority of American people in all of the fucking states, including red ones, believe that the government should stay the fuck out of women's pussies, okay? Only relentless, annoying fucking freaks like Ben are the ones who are literally constantly like, no, I want to know what you do with your pussy. I don't care. My entire life revolves around telling you what you can and can't do with your own fucking womb. Nobody gives a shit. Most normal people do not give a fuck about this. Only fucking freaks, dude. If you literally are like, no, abortions should not be allowed. Like, it's a fucking murder. It should not be allowed. You're a fucking freak, okay? You are a freak. You are a psycho. You're an absolute insane person, okay? And you should be banished from society. People should boo you everywhere you go. People should be like, boo, you're a fucking loser, you fucking freak. This doesn't even mean, okay? This doesn't even mean that you can't be fucking pro-life. That's your own prerogative, okay? You can be pro-life individually. No one's gonna stop you. You can be like, oh my God, the little gummy bear fucking jelly bean-sized thing inside of me is actually a real fucking human life. That's fine, you know? then don't take the fucking abortion pill and then, pee it out. That's your own prerogative, okay? You should be able to keep the baby if you want to. I'm not advocating to fucking abort your nasty ass fucking conservative filth that you're gonna fucking shit out of your pussy, okay? I don't give a fuck. More Ben Shapiro's for you, okay? Keep shitting these fucking disgusting freaks out all you want. But if someone wants to have an abortion, a medical procedure that is incredibly fucking safe, okay, which 90% of which happens in the first trimester, you literally go to the doctor says, oh, you're pregnant, by the way. You say, oh my God, I want to have an abortion, thank you. And then the doctor's like, here, take this pill. And then you literally have a heavy flow period, and that's it, because it's not a real fucking thing yet, okay? Then they should be able to have that. That's psychotic. It is completely fucking psychotic to be like, no, the government should stop other people from doing this. And we already know the impact of this, okay? We already know the impact of this. Because fetuses cannot live outside of the fucking womb without the carrier supporting it, okay? And it's a delicate thing that when you actually end up banning abortions, okay, you're not stopping abortions from happening. You're just pushing them behind closed doors. You're pushing people into getting back alley abortions, okay? Which are actually very complicated procedures all of a sudden that end up harming the carrier and punishing women for no fucking reason. But of course, that is the point. The point is Republicans want to punish women for having sex. If you're having an abortion, you should be punished. If you had sex and you got pregnant, you should be punished for it. That's it. That's the whole point. You're just a fucking baby incubator. If you're married and you have sex, then you have to keep the baby. Doesn't matter how many you have, okay? You have to keep the baby. You have to keep the baby. You should not have sex if you don't want to have a child. The only time you should fuck is when you want to have a child. So we will punish you that way as well. If you're married and you have sex, we will punish you if you don't want to fucking have the child. You shouldn't have fucked. It's completely psychotic. Make abortions unnecessary. Don't most people get abortions because of finances? There are many different reasons for why people get abortions, one of which is finances. But yes, if your ultimate goal is to stop abortions from happening, if you want to minimize the number of abortions that occur, there are many things that you can do. Again, another thing that I've talked about many, many times over. One, make it so that it's financially livable to have a fucking child. It's like 13 grand to pop out a fucking little shit, okay? Just the medical procedure alone. That shit is fucking expensive, okay? And it's super expensive to also take care of this child. But other than the finances itself, part of the reason why, there are unplanned pregnancies is because we don't have comprehensive sex education, which Republicans also oppose, by the way. Every single state where you have abstinence-only sex ed or no sex ed whatsoever, you have skyrocketing teenage pregnancy cases. Because that shit doesn't work.
Support limits on abortions. You are just
Okay?
an extremist.
Make
But you know that.
contraceptives readily available and accessible and free. That way people are, both educated because they are getting sex ed now, and also have the contraceptive tools to make sure that they don't get fucking pregnant.
This shit depressing.
And lastly, allow reproductive health services to be readily available for people in red states. But once again, conservatives also oppose that. They don't want you to learn about sex ed. They don't want you to have contraceptives. And they don't want you to go to a reproductive health service place at all.
They want to ban abortion.
So then, and then after that, they want to fucking
slaves.
be able to lie to you when you do end up getting pregnant and stop you from getting an abortion. It's completely psychotic. If Republicans genuinely wanted to limit the number of abortions that take place every year, if they truly thought it was like murder or whatever, this is what they would do. They would try to educate people, try to offer alternatives, engage in sex ed, and create comprehensive, reproductive health care services. But they don't want to do that. They just want to punish women for fucking. That's it.
On things. That is not the death of democracy. That's a restoration of democracy. If you think that Republicans in charge of Congress and the Senate and the presidency in the absence of Roe are going to pass a nationwide abortion ban, and I'm as pro-life as anybody in America, on a political level, it ain't happening. The best that would happen, the best that you could hope for, is that they would start pushing back national bans on abortion. Right now, the only federal laws that are in place are like partial birth abortion bans. You might see that gradually pushed back to 20 weeks, 16 weeks, maybe even 10 weeks. The idea of a full-scale national federal ban on abortion, the country's...
A 10-week ban on abortion is already an abortion ban. At the federal level especially. Like
Your
he's
head
saying,
looks so much smaller in those
26
videos.
states,
Good work,
18
King.
states have trigger
Abortion
laws
is a
that mean
human right in
automatically
healthcare.
that they
38 love
are
that.
going to immediately restrict abortion and criminalize it, right? A total of 26 states will have some kind of abortion
One year
restrictions.
sweet.
Ben, of course, is never going to mention that because he's a piece of shit. Okay? And it doesn't go along with his argument. But not only that, but he's also saying that, this doesn't mean there's going to be a fucking full-blown federal ban on abortion. It's like, yeah, that's legislation that is going to come at the federal level. But it doesn't matter. You're literally
12
stopping
months,
fucking people
recovering from
being able to have
brain rot.
abortions in red states, even if the majority of said red state does not believe the government should interfere in that process. Okay, so that's completely undemocratic. Completely undemocratic. But Ben knows that because he doesn't give a shit. He's a Republican. He knows that the Republican Party routinely
Fine, peace.
overrides the interests of the majority. That's what they do. Okay? And now he's turning around and saying, well, technically, there's not going to be a fucking abortion ban. It'll just be a 10-week ban, maybe, in best case scenario. Well, that's already a fucking full-blown abortion ban, you idiot.
16
People
months.
don't fucking know that they're pregnant the first 6 weeks to 10 weeks. Okay? They barely figure that out after the first month. That's crazy.
just too divided for that. It's not going to happen politically. Okay, but that when it comes to the states, that is where the issue is going to be solved. That is where the issue is going to happen. And what that's going to do on a political level, and this is a very good thing, it's going to lead to a continuation of the big sword. You know, there are a lot of people who are worried about the polarization of American society. You know what polarizes Americans?
To be fair, 10 weeks is, I would say 10 weeks is like when people start finding out. But most people, that's why he said 10 instead of 6, because that's the actual, what do you call it? The actual legislation that they push for is 6 weeks. They say after 6 weeks, you should not be able to get an abortion. And most people find out in near the end of their first trimester, but it's virtually impossible to find out in the first 6 to 10 weeks. Especially, now the reason why is because even if you are fucking trying to get pregnant, even if you are deliberately trying to get pregnant, you're like, I am fucking my husband, I'm letting my husband cream inside of me, I'm getting cream pies nonstop, I'm ovulating, you know, I'm looking at my fucking, period app or whatever the fuck, I'm looking at making sure I'm synced up with the fucking moon, okay? Even in that situation, plenty of women don't know that they're pregnant until fucking after 6 weeks. It's not about over-the-counter pregnancy tests that can detect HCG protein at 6 weeks gestation, my friend. It's about you'd have to literally constantly test for it to know. That's the point. So many women find out when their fucking period is late or it doesn't come at all. And that's not going to happen for fucking 4 weeks automatically. And that is if you hit it in the fucking, beginning of the cycle. I know some of you are fucking virgins and do not understand the concept, but, And also, periods being delayed for a multitude of different reasons is also commonplace. And then pregnancy tests are expensive because accessibility to fucking healthcare services is, hard to come by for the obvious reasons that Republicans are fucking demons. Okay? 92.7% of abortions were performed at the after the 13-week gestation per that CDC link. But if that 6 weeks is in that 6 weeks is the threshold, what the fuck? Yeah. That's where most of it happens. What did Henry Cuellar say? We'll look at that in a second.
Society, when every issue has to be solved top down. That's what polarizes American society. What polarizes American society on the federal national level is when I feel like my life here in Florida is being controlled by people in California.
Dude, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You can't fucking, you can't simultaneously talk about, abortion bans at the federal level while salivating and then turn around and be like, actually, there should be no federal laws that hurt my feelings. You are such a hypocritical piece of shit. How the fuck does anybody who may even question what his fucking integrity is ever watch Ben Shapiro and be like, wow, this is a man of honor. He has so much integrity. It's crazy. He literally just said he wants fucking some kind of control over abortion at the federal level, and then turned around and was like, oh, it's actually more polarizing when you tell me in Florida what I can and can't do about abortion. First of all, if we were to look at fucking the state of Florida, I'm almost fucking certain that the majority, if tomorrow you said in the state of Florida, we're going to have a referendum on whether or not the Floridian government can fucking, ban abortion, that ballot measure would get fucking destroyed. They would be like, fuck yeah, we love abortions. Are you fucking kidding me? They'd be like, make abortions free. And force Ben Shapiro to have one, a postpartum abortion, right now at his, 37 years after he was born. That's so stupid. Now, of course, that's not going to stop, Ron DeSantis from doing whatever the fuck he wants to do. He's a piece of shit, but.
When people in California feel like their life is being controlled by people in Florida. When I feel like there's a giant government gun.
Notice, I can't get over this. Notice how he took for granted. He just straight up took for granted and made it seem like, people in Florida, the majority of people in Florida would be fucking, for banning abortions and criminalizing abortions. That's not the case. That's not. You just made that up. You are just doing that right now. Where did you get that? Where'd you get that from? You just made it up. You just pulled it out of your fucking ass. What the fuck do you know about Florida, you pussy? You grew up in fucking California your entire goddamn life. Now you're LARPing as a fucking Florida man. So you can fucking not pay income taxes. Shut the fuck up, bitch. I'm a real Florida man, okay? That's the first place I fucking landed on the United States of America, okay? It's the first place I goddamn lived, you bitch. I'm a Florida man. Yeah, I admitted it. Shut the fuck up, chat.
That is pointed at me and my children by people who I don't live near and who don't care about my priorities and who disagree with me. That is a problem. The founders understood this, which is why they created a federalist structure whereby most law was done at the local and state level, not at the federal level. What the Supreme Court is doing is now returning.
Yeah, that was such a great idea. That's why the Civil War happened, You know these arguments. States' rights. You know how it is. States' rights.
The issue that is the most contentious issue in American life back to the state and local level for regulation, which is where it should be, barring on a constitutional legal level. On a moral level, I'm a believer that there should be a constitutional amendment to protect human life in the womb. But barring that, the system provides for the states and the localities to make these decisions. And the fact that the Supreme Court is now abiding by its own role in interpreting the law rather than just imposing it top down. The fact that the left finds this shocking or upsetting is amazing to me. And again, they keep saying things like, well, the people aren't with it. The people, well, now.
Bro, it doesn't matter. You already know that the entire system is designed to fucking completely avoid what the democratic wishes of the people is. Shut the fuck up. It's just, it's so fucking annoying. Well, now it'll just be more democracy, dude.
Now we're going to get a chance to find out.
No, we're not.
Now we're going to get a chance to find, but you don't want to find out.
We're never going to find out. It's not a thing. We're never going to find out. There's no democracy. There's no democracy in this country. And as a matter of fact, whenever someone correctly points out that there's no democracy in this country, you say, well, technically, it's not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. I fucking hate him. He's so stupid. He's not even fucking smart. I'm an idiot. And for some reason, everyone that fucking listened to this asshat is way dumber than me. How the fuck is that even possible? I forget what day of the week it is. Half the time. Fuck.
The point. You liked it when the Supreme Court was doing your priors. You liked it when the Supreme Court was imposing its will top down. Again, the logic here is just insane.
There is no logic.
I'm reading Twitter, and some of these people... So Ian Bremmer tweeted, I'm conflicted on abortion as someone raised Catholic, anti-death penalty, who doesn't think there's a definitive answer on when human life begins. By the way, there is a definitive answer on when human life begins. It's at conception. There's no other science.
What? Where? What is the scientific basis for this, dude? Life begins at conception. That's not. You just made that up. You made that up. You're fucking. It's like toilet paper. That's how relevant it is in this situation. It's just religion. Like, oh yeah, source. I made it up. Source. God made it up before me. You can't take an incredibly complex philosophical argument and then turn it into, a definitive truth because your God says it is. What the fuck? I'm not even going to do that classic, like, I thought religion and state was separated. It's just not. It's just, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this country. I hate Ben Shapiro. I hate Ben Shapiro's followers.
Scientific definition.
It literally is just like reducing the fucking concept of what it means to be a human. A concept that, like, philosophers have endlessly argued on and saying, well, it's well established. It's well established where? In my mind, because I believe it. So it is the case. Most Florida voters oppose abortion bans. Polls show. Oh, there you go. Thank you for fucking finding that. I didn't even have to search for it. There it is. Agreed with Roe v. Wade. 68%. 68%. 68% agreed with Roe v. Wade, dog. 68%. Fuck you, Ben. Fuck you. Fucking video game yourself, you piece of shit. No, stop saying even in Florida, chat. Stop. Most Americans are not as psychotic. This is literally what I started the conversation on. Remember when I said in the beginning of this conversation that people are not as fucking frothing at the mouth as these like insane nerds who literally lose their fucking minds at this thing? Most people do not care. They don't fucking want to stop women from doing whatever the fuck they want to their own bodies, dude. It's literally not even 30% in Florida. It's like 20 to 30% of people in most states that are like fucking white evangelical Protestants and shit and like mega nerds, okay? Like the most nerdy psychos who just like can't stop. They're frothing out of the fucking mouth thinking about this. They're like, oh my God, abortions might be happening. They are one step away from going fucking Ted Bundy. Okay, and sometimes they do act out on those desires. They literally like fucking put bombs in abortion clinics and shit. They're psychos. They're psychos. In a normal society, we would have fucking sedated them. We would have found out where they live, and we would have put them in a fucking asylum with a straitjacket and a steady diet of lithium. Okay. But no, we don't live in a normal society. We live in fucking America in 2022 when those psychopaths with fucking string theories and a fucking, board full of like weird QAnon pedophile conspiracies are running around and either A, becoming congresspersons like Marjorie Taylor Greene, or B, fucking passing legislation like they're being listened to by Republicans. It's insane, dude. It's fucking insane. And we're making more of these. Like, we're making more of these fucking freaks. That's the other thing. Every day.
Of human life.
Move? I move into your mother's pussy every night, you fucking freak. she says. But luckily, she can get an abortion after she found out the mistake of the first child was such a petulant little fucking worm like you.
Lock the psychos up at Hasan.
Beginning than that. He says, I think it should be a woman's decision. It's tragic the Supreme Court is taking that away. They're not taking that away. They're leaving it up to the voters of the particular states. And by the way, the notion that the only choice that matters.
All women, literally. Yeah, all women should move out of America. Simple, dude. It's awesome. I don't like it. You don't want to be treated like a baby incubator and have, have the government force your pregnancy be carried to term, and just move. Just move out of the country. My country's been trying to legalize abortion for years. What they're doing now in the USA will only increase the amount of clandestine induced abortions and the ban abortions.
In a woman's reproductive life is the choice to abort is crazy. That's a crazy lunacy.
Happy 2 months.
There are a series of decisions that women make throughout their lives about reproductive choice. When to have sex, when to get married, when to use contraception, when to get pregnant. The baseline idea, I mean, by the way, the left.
Why is he making it seem like women are fucking literally every time you fuck, you're going to get pregnant? That's what it is. I mean, that's a self-report. Like, he's literally saying, I don't know if this is like an Orthodox Jewish thing. Okay. And chat can correct me on this. Like, I legitimately don't know. Is there a thing for Orthodox Jews, like they can only have sex when they want to have a kid? Is that how that works? I don't know. I don't believe that though. There's no fucking shot. Judaism explicitly allows for abortion. I mean, yeah, Islam too. So I would be surprised if that was the case. No, lol. So he just made so. No, for the record, I'm not talking about reform. Okay, reformist Jews are. I mean, they're not. That doesn't mean anything. It's like me and my Islam. You know what I mean? But I don't know where the fuck he's coming with this attitude. Anti-Semitic take. Yeah, it's an anti-Semitic take when I say obviously, like a reformist Jewish person is the same as me being a Muslim. Like, we don't give a fuck. I'm talking about like specifically asking a question specifically about Orthodox Jews because I don't know, but I still think Ben is making it up. Self-report that clue, he has no clue about sex and conception works. No, like you can only have this attitude. Okay, you can only have this attitude if you truly believe that like the only time you have sex is to have a child. Like what he's saying. It's not for fun. It's not for pleasure. It's just something that you do with the express purpose. That express purpose being like, you know, having a child.
Ben Shapiro, always women fault.
Because he's admitting that. Like, he's literally saying that right now. He's like, women make a choice, reproductive choice, every time they have sex. I'm Jewish and belittling Jews' sexual knowledge of just reproducing is anti-Semitic. Did I do that? Is that what I did? Or were you over the top sensitive about this and you came at it looking, as a Ben Shapiro fan maybe, looking for any fucking out here to be like, oh, you must be anti-Semitic or something. Or maybe you're one of those fucking weirdo debate perverts who used to be a fan and is no longer a fan and hasn't been around in a long ass time and only comes back to just be a shitter in the chat and then clip something out of context and then turn around and make it seem like it's the case. There is a halakha bit about the spilling of seed without the purpose of impregnation. Don't listen to that chatter. I'm also Jewish and being dumb. I'm Jewish. That chatter is insane. No, I mean, I know he is insane. 100%.
18 months. Balls in my face.
Chatter heard the word Jewish and immediately thought anti-Semitic. Lamau. No, literally. Like, not only did I ask a question about a specific sect, ask a question not knowing the answer, I also specified that, of course, you know, other sects that are significantly more open-minded and don't give a shit, or other schools of thought within that religion are not going to have said attitudes. I know that personally. Trying to turn around and claim that that is anti-Semitic is disgusting. You're a piece of shit. You are 100% making light of very serious accusations in an effort to revolve the conversation around yourself. And congratulations, you just, you know, showed 38,000 people that you're a fucking dumbass. So that was great, subscriber. Anyway. I'm being anti-semantic. Okay. Where were we? Okay, so as I was saying, you only believe this if you legitimately believe what Ben said here is the biggest self-report of all time, which is that you only believe this if you think, like, you know, sex is only with the express purpose of having a child. It's the only time. It's not for it's not a consensual act that two, like, loving adults that care about one another can ever engage in unless they literally want to fucking have a kid.
Crazy. That's a crazy lunacy. There are a series of decisions that women make throughout their lives about reproductive choice. When to have sex, when to get married, when to use contraception.
A reproductive choice you make is when to get married. Dude, that's awesome.
Ben Shapiro says
Like,
no wimpy words allowed. Keep them
that's
dry,
great,
ladies,
dude.
or you're going
That's
to
great.
jail.
From growing up in an extremely conservative Christian community, they really believe that the purpose of a woman is to get married and have kids and nothing else. It's just wild.
When to get pregnant. The baseline idea.
So what happens when, you know, they didn't make that conscious decision and it happened? Like, does this motherfucker know how pregnancies happen? Like, does he think that Ben Shapiro's never fucked? I'm now convinced. I know he has children, so at first I thought, like, you know, he must have fucked at least like 3 times, right? But now I'm beginning to sense that he's never fucked. He made it seem like, well, one, his doctor wife, by the way, he has, you know, talked about how, you know, if my doctor wife was wet, then that would be a medical condition. Okay, so that was one. That was my first inclination that he's never fucked. But now he's making it seem like you press a pregnancy button as a woman and then boom, you're pregnant. Everyone knows, hypothetically, when your doctor wife wants to have a child, she makes the reproductive decision to have a child and presses a button that's called the pregnancy button. Like this. Take your finger and you press your belly button like this. And then before you know it, your doctor wife goes away and then comes back after a long weekend and she's pregnant. Hypothetically, this is how it works. And then she's smiling for the first time. For months on end, as a matter of fact. Until she, of course, remembers that she is living next to me.
I mean, by the way, the left is giving away the game when they treat abortion this way. It used to be they treated abortion as sort of an evil that you had to tolerate because there were certain situations in which the baby was malformed or in which somebody was raped or it was an incest case or these are difficult decisions. Now the left just...
But, like, why? Why? If you believe that life begins at conception, then who cares if it's you know, created by rape? Straight up, the morally consistent position in that circumstance is that life is life, all life is sacred, and even if the child has significant disabilities, even if the child is a product of incest, incestuous rape, whatsoever, no matter what, it's still a fucking real baby inside of you, and that pregnancy should be carried to term. But the reason why conservatives don't want to make that concession, for the record, okay, is because they understand that that would be fucking psychotic. That would be psychotic. That'd be insane. Some of them go that far. They live in Alabama. Ben is too much of a fucking California libtard to not push for that line. Because deep down inside, he understands if he were to advocate for that, he would look like a monster to all the other libtards that he wants to fucking frequent and go to cocktails with and hang out with when he's not on camera.
Admits it right out. It's a form of contraception for them, which demonstrates the evil. Because if you're using abortion as a form of contraception, that is one of the highest forms of moral evil I can imagine.
Why?
If you're using abortion as a way to make your life more convenient, this makes you a bad person, definitionally.
Definitionally. Wait, why? And I don't even think it works that way. I don't think people are just like, oop, time to get a fucking another Aboribo, like... No, I think people fuck up. Shit happens. And having that access is a good thing. Yeah, no one's like, well, time to go to the abortion factory. Fuck it. YOLO. Another Aboribo. Love it, dude. You can't have a conversation with this guy, dude. You just can't. He's not a normal human being, okay? Like, one of the most, human things on the fucking planet is wanting to fuck, okay? No disrespect to the ace chatters. I love you, but, I don't get it. It's a totally normal thing to want to fuck, okay? It's a beautiful thing. Having sex is awesome. I used to have it. I remember it was great. I remember it fondly. It's cool. It's great. It's a personal thing you can it is a very cool thing that you can do with another human being, okay? It's deeply personal, it's cool. Every part about it is dope, okay? I like it a lot. I don't know how else to describe it. It's a lot of fun and it's very cool. Okay? Great. How am I going to describe that to Ben Shapiro, who has the least healthy attitude about sex? We're operating on entirely separate playing fields. You know what I mean? He just literally is like, sex is something that you do when you want to have a child. The smell after isn't fun. Ew, dude, what the fuck? Okay. First of all, get checked out. You probably have bacterial vaginosis or something, if that's what you think is the case. Okay? Because that's not the case. Thanks for describing that, Hasan. I wouldn't know what sex is like as a Twitch chatter. You're welcome. This is a service I provide. Definitionally, when your doctor wife wants to have a baby, let's say, for example, you go down and play Switch in the basement for 3 hours. Hypothetically, in this scenario, your wife will be pregnant. Yeah, hypothetically speaking, your wife's best friend, who happens to be 6'4" and jacked, comes over and brings you the new copy of the Nintendo sports game. Let's say, hypothetically, you're too busy playing that. Anyway, yeah, it definitionally makes you a bad person. I love that he just made up a person in his mind who uses abortions as a form of contraceptives. There's a finite amount you can have before your shit's fucked up, right? You can't be popping abortions left and right. People usually take it seriously. You're going to do it. It's not a major surgery. No shot. No, but you literally, you can't just be fucking, popping abortion pills left and right. Think a condom will have your room smelling like a tire shop? I'm one stamp away from a free one. They're not that bad. They're all free if you go to Planned Parenthood. But yeah, anyway, it fucks with hormones. It's not fun. Yeah, it's not. And it's also, in a lot of instances, a difficult decision because it's a gray area morally about what it means to be a fucking human. Like, are you willing to carry this pregnancy to term and like actually fucking turn it into life and what it means to be a human being? You know what I mean? So like even then, I admit that there is a moral conversation that a lot of people have internally. As the resident sex haver, I want out of this convo. Bussy Angel, your name is literally Bussy Angel. I don't think you're getting MPreg anytime soon, okay? Bussy Angel, there's no shot no matter how hard you try, I don't think you're getting pregnant, okay? Extracting semen in vein is prohibited by the Talmud, which a lot of Orthodox Jews go by. Ben probably masturbates in his closet where God can't see and fucks his wife only to make babies, which would explain why he's so tense all the time and why he can't satisfy his wife. I'm not even convinced he's ever fucked his wife, even to have a baby, to be honest.
If you're using abortion as a way to make your life more convenient, this makes you a bad person, definitionally. You're not doing it based on some extenuating circumstance. You're doing it just because it's convenient and you were too lazy to use contraception or because the condom failed or something. That is a serious moral issue with you.
Wait, what? If the condom fails, that's a moral issue with you? Wait, what? You took the... Wait, what? So he's saying, like, even if you actually fucking took the necessary precautions and it still failed, that's your moral issue? What the fuck? He literally is saying you shouldn't have fucked, idiot. Dude, he said you're definitionally evil if the condom broke, dude. What the fuck? Yo, this is how you should treat conservatives talking about sex. Straight up. Because it's such a funny self-report. I know we get like too triggered and too mad because it's a really emotional conversation, especially if you're a woman, like, or especially if like this is, a loved one is going to be impacted by this, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to just like take a deep breath and remember that like you're literally talking to someone who's never
Shapiro
fucked.
no longer has the option to abort the brainworm.
Like when you move away from like the ramifications or the repercussions of like not allowing women to have bodily autonomy for a brief moment, just to like pull yourself out of the conversation, you're literally talking to someone who's never fucked and thinks like fucking is immoral across the board. You know what I mean? You are such a fucking nerd, dude. Holy shit. I want to give him a wedgie. Like I want to take this adult human and like pull his fucking underwear over his head. Okay? Straight up. It's like you are such a no pussy having freak, dude. Oh my God. And you want to punish everyone. Like literally everyone around you. You are such an unpleasant psycho and you want to punish every single person around you for how annoyed you are for being just this fucking relentless weirdo.
The fact that you want that established by the Supreme Court is madness. And it demonstrates disdain for morality, for basic decency, and most of all for the constitutional structure. This was not what the Supreme Court was meant to do. And for all those who say that the Supreme Court's legitimacy has been undermined here, no. If the Supreme Court goes this way, the Supreme Court's legitimacy has been restored because their job is to look at the Constitution's text and its history and to interpret what the words mean. It is not to do your political priors. That's not what the Constitution is meant to do. And them going back to their role would be a welcome sight. You want a restoration of institutions in America and institutional trust? Institutions are supposed to do what they're supposed to.
Got you again, stupid leftist. You went for the wedgie, yet I was wearing no underwear, and you got a handful of cheek. Checkmate, commie. Cheek mate. Oh, no. Oh, no.
To do. You're not supposed to have departments of health and human services that cram down puberty blockers on children. You're not supposed to have departments of Homeland Security that open the borders. And you're not supposed to have a Supreme Court of the United States that acts as a super legislature on behalf of Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden to do all of their political priors. You want trust in institutions? Restrict the institutions to doing what the institutions were meant to do. That's what this decision would do. So, I'm honestly good.
I think conservatives sexless weirdo conservatives like Ben Shapiro very clearly have never had sex. Don't tweet it. Man, I love following a document that didn't include me because I'm black. It's so heckin' based. Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome to fucking look at the Constitution and be like, this was super sick. When people were dying at the age of 35 and like and black people were not treated as humans and women were not also treated as humans either. Like what a fire time. What is this? Black people Twitter? This is how you ratio Ben Shapiro? I'm sorry, the Constitution is happening to you? Which version of the Constitution, though? Because the original had me less than a whole of a person. I mean, Ben is, I feel like you don't want to have Ben have that conversation. Wait, hold on. I want to... I have a better tweet, but I don't know if I should do it. I was going to say, you, small-brained, men shouldn't be making laws about women's bodied. Me, big-brained, Ben Shapiro and other sexless conservatives should not be talking about abortion. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm bigger than that, okay? I'm bigger than that. We're not going to do it. Someone said, nah, mid-tweet. Is that too long? Nah, throw that tweet in the trash. If conservatives really wanted to hold up traditional values, they should all die at 35. Respect. That's a good tweet. That's true. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were not holding, traditional values like the way it was during the Constitution. I'm about to give you dysentery, bitch. Saw your ratio, Ben. No, I already saw that. That bro got bro pussy wet. I saw. He is the best. Lemon Fayol. He is the best. What a fucking dildo, dude. Tweet could be read as insensitive to aces. Okay, chill. Don't call aces sexless freaks. They're gonna get mad. AOC learned how to teach GOP lectures how exactly a pregnancy works. How are you gonna ignore that Tim Pool question? Wait, what is it? Take King.
Okay, now that those liberals are efficiently owned, I do want to leave with one last point. point. The greatest American value is vor. It's also a Jewish value. It's in the Torah. It's mentioned multiple times. Trust me. And we practice it every night in my home. My wife's a doctor. She vors me every night, and I vor her. How do we do that? She's a doctor. She has godlike abilities that you just can't comprehend. And it's worth noting that Joe Biden actually texted me last night saying that he's going to remove vor from America. And I was like, this is absolutely disgusting. This is anti-Semitic. It's just makes me absolutely sick. They will remove the most beautiful thing we've ever had, which is vor. Not even up for debate. It's the best thing we've ever had, and I just want to leave giving that a shout out, and just so that America's just remembers the true values of voring your neighbors.
I mean, he is capsule sized. You could, if there was one person you could fucking vor, like, you know, it's Ben Shapiro.
Yes. Any questions? Yes, you in the front. Hello, I'm a Jewish rabbi from Israel. I've pretty much studied and even interacted with people from every denomination of Judaism. I've never heard of this vor thing. Shut up.
I want mommy. I want milk. I want to be held.
Okay.
What is this? I don't get it. They're just saying that. I don't know. It was a little sus. It's a little sus. That was a little sus. I'll be honest with you. A little bit.